warnings about a dangerous illegal drug on a summer concert scene.
Bay Ridge neighbors want to shut down a local hotel.
Heads up, talking, texting, walking, and ignoring traffic, the city wants you to pay attention.
That and more coming up next. Welcome to Brooklyn College News. I'm Dan Thorne.
I'm Christina Rivera.
And I'm Indesha Bryan. Kanye West raps about it, Madonna joked about it.
But law enforcement officials say there's nothing funny about the club drug called Molly.
It's potentially very harmful with long-term consequences. Christine Alexis reports.
I've done Molly at various concerts.
You won't see his face, but plenty of young people like him use the new synthetic drug Molly. They brag about it in concert videos and on websites.
It's kind of like, I don't know, you just feel the happiest person alive.
Users say it heightens the concert and party experience.
It makes you feel as happy as you're ever going to be in your entire life.
Molly is a hallucinogen similar to ecstasy. Officials believe it's imported from Belgium, the Netherlands, or Canada.
You become addicted to the high, and you're always chasing that high that you got the first time. And the second time is never the same as the first time.
But this drug can seriously damage the brain.
Long-term use can inhibit the body's own ability to produce pleasure, to produce serotonin. And for a young person to look forward to a lifetime without being able to produce yourself that sense of pleasure and enjoyment is just tragic.
That seems to be what's happening to this user.
Because you'll never be as content with the world as it is unless you're on Molly.
And there's one more problem. Recent drug busts revealed that pills sold as Molly contain bath salts.
But bath salts, as we know, it produces really a psychotic effect. And so that really couples the danger or increases the danger.
Experts warn when you take a drug like Molly for a good time, you gamble with your mental health.
We hear it all too often. A shooting takes place in Brooklyn, another in Queens. An angry husband kills his wife and her grandchild, and that's all in a few days in July.
For those left behind, it's a tragedy that's always with them. Now these families speak out. They call for an end to gun violence. Melanie Montalvo reports.
I picked up the phone and the girl told me Samantha just got shot and the line went dead. I was shocked. I started yelling. I started screaming.
Deanna's daughter, Samantha, was 19 years old. She was walking in the Bronx. A shooter targeted one of her friends and hit Samantha instead.
I was hysterical from the minute that I got that call to the time that I reached the hospital. And after I reached there, she was in the operating room for like 2 hours before she was pronounced dead.
Last year, 1,821 people were shot on New York City streets, yet only 631 were arrested in connection with the crimes. According to the NYPD's annual report, Samantha's killer was never caught.
This tragedy just changed everything in our lives.
Diana moved past shock, denial, guilt, anger, and is now an activist.
Just made me want to go out and do something different.
Diana and others who lost family and friends to gun violence began to protest. They want tougher federal gun laws. That's because 85% of illegal guns in New York come from out of state.
We are losing a lot of youth. After I lost my daughter Samantha.
Many shared emotional stories.
My son is 13 years old. His father was murdered when he was 2 years old.
And then they carried pictures of their lost loved ones and marched to City Hall.
But sometimes you have to bring those people down to places where folks who make decisions can see the hurt and the pain, and we are bringing that to them today.
Something must be done. And we're here today to make it happen.
Everyone I spoke with told me they want to make a difference, and they hope Washington politicians hear their cry.
Residents on 93rd Street in Bay Ridge say what goes on in and around a small hotel is ruining their neighborhood. We investigated their complaints.
We're not happy with that establishment. I use that term lightly.
The Prince Hotel is under fire. Residents say it's an eyesore and a sex and drug den.
They're all like hookers and prostitutes that go there.
Hotel owner Moses, or Mike Fried, says the Prince is law-abiding. The 93 lounge next door is the cause of the problem. No one from the lounge would talk to us, but neighbors insist it's the hotel.
The police have been there a few times, more than ordinary.
Fried's previous hotels with royal names ran into trouble too. The city shut down the Prince Lefferts Hotel in Clinton Hill and the Princess Hotel in downtown Brooklyn for allegations of prostitution and building code violations. 5 feet from the entrance of the Bay Ridge Prince, we found this crack pipe. No one answered the door at Freed's office, but he did talk with me on the phone.
What about drugs?
He said the hotel is no problem whatsoever. There is no prostitution at all. Many neighbors spoke with us off camera about their concerns, but Freed said, "We got people living next door who don't know what they're talking about."
Whether it be drugs and prostitution, and we're looking to put an end to it.
Senator Martin Golden says he's asked the NYPD to investigate.
We're working with the 6-8 precinct and looking to see if some of these issues are in fact being committed.
The people I spoke with said they want the hotel cleaned up and shut down as soon as possible.
Some New York City daycare centers narrowly avoided budget cuts with the help of the city council. But Sharita Nelson says that they may not stay open for long.
The initial goal is that it takes a village to raise a child, but if there are no daycare centers in the communities, where's the village?
Daycare centers like Young Minds in Bedford-Stuyvesant escaped the budget acts, but worry now about what comes next, because initially the city cut its funding.
We were actually surprised when we found out that we were on the list to close.
I'm ecstatic that Young Minds Daycare is staying open.
This is Young Minds' 40th year. It cares for 300 children and connects a network of about 100 home daycare providers. Parents pay according to their income, and the city subsidizes the rest.
I thought we would do a better job here, and the teachers are devoted.
A last-minute funding deal with the city council makes daycare possible for 50,000 children. That's 7,000 more than initially planned. But 50 centers will close by September. That leaves parents with fewer options.
Definitely have to find a babysitter as far as that.
I'll definitely have to be home, so that would be like a bad choice for them to do.
The new deal gives Young Minds a contract extension for 1 year. After that, who knows?
We are happy because the parents have a place to go, and we will continue doing our quality program, and children will be leaving here happy and safe and going on to kindergarten.
City Council Speaker Christine Quinn says the council wants the daycare centers but doesn't have a plan for funding for next year. Sharita Nelson, Brooklyn College News.
Sometimes student athletes push their bodies to levels that almost rival the pros, and their injuries are just as real. Now superstar athletes urge parents and kids to consider the risks. Namik Revanov reports.
I ended up going helmet to helmet with Defender, and in the outcome, I got a concussion and loss of yards.
16-year-old Corey Woods got a concussion playing high school football.
I didn't know that it was a concussion, so I thought the loss of yards was the most important part.
Hard to believe, but the intensity of sports often makes kids and adult athletes forget danger.
Nobody ever wants to pull themselves out of the game. You feel like you're letting the team down. It's a pride thing.
Quarterback Drew Brees joined other superstars at a news conference recently. They want parents and kids to take this seriously. Olympic gold soccer winner Brianna Scurry says it happens in all sports.
It's important that people understand that there's a lot more to concussion than just the initial symptoms, because a lot of times some of them stay with you a lot longer.
That's Corey's experience. Months later, he still feels funny, especially at night in the car.
The lights in front of you are like a little bright. Your head starts pounding, like uncontrollable pain.
Many kids keep playing. Joseph was knocked out in a high school game last year.
They did something with my eyes, like make sure like everything's okay, like I was functioning all right.
Schools test kids before the season. They want to see how their brains function. It's called a baseline test. But Drew Brees points out that one test is not enough.
At age 12, that's not the same baseline test you need to work off of at age 13 or 14. You need to continue to retake that to update it to where you're getting as accurate a measure as possible.
All these athletes had concussions. They want others to learn from their mistakes.
Still have symptoms, and what's scary is, and Deanna and I were talking about this, is you don't know going forward if I misplace my car keys. Is that a brain injury?
Athletes want kids and parents to take this seriously. They say it's important for kids to take some time off after they're injured. Namik Revanov, Brooklyn College News.
We'll be right back, so don't go away.
Coming up,
a small business aims to quench that summer thirst.
Plus, our frugal student uncovers great deals.
My mom's a hardcore enabler.
I first realized it when she said we should have a party at our house.
We're gonna have fun tonight? You ready?
She even got my dad to say okay.
Lighten up a little bit. They're teenagers. All right, we're going back. Everybody's in the back.
She's so hooked on Maybelline that my friends think she's their buddy. If she doesn't care, why should I?
Enabling is a drug. Get help. The partnership at drugfree.org.
Welcome back. Some people have a knack for finding good deals for everything. Our frugal student, Fatima Kadir, is one of them.
I love to find ways to save money. It gives me a sense of satisfaction, and I want to share that with you. So here are 3 ways to save. First, with your Metro card. A monthly MTA Metro card costs $104. That's a lot of money for the average college student. And is it even really worth buying?
I think the limited Metro card is very expensive, and students should have a bigger discount on it.
A single MTA ride costs $2.25. A student who only uses the bus or subway to get to and from college 5 days a week will spend $90. Remember, an unlimited Metro card costs $104. That means you spend $14 more than you need to. States like Maryland and New Jersey offer discounts to college students. In a phone interview with the MTA, a spokesperson told me that they don't have plans to offer discounts to students because they will lose money. Save smart on your smartphone by downloading free apps that offer coupons. I like the Coupons app. It's got a coupon for practically everything, including clothing and food. 99% of the stores will scan the coupon on your smartphone. This coupon for Quiznos saved me $2 off a large sandwich, so I ended up paying around $3. You can also save on technology by using sites like newegg.com and buy.com. This 8 GB SanDisk SD card on a retail website costs $22.99. The same SD card on buy.com costs $6.23. A Sony laptop costs over $2,000 on a retail website. But a similar Sony with equal gigabytes costs about $850 on newegg.com. I'm always on the lookout for savings, and I hope to share more tips with you soon.
You know the drill. You graduate from college, then the job hunt begins. But what about creating your own job? Maria Trikuris found 2 women that turned their passion into a business.
Eleni and Maria sell their jewelry at street fairs. The women started Heart Me Jewelry less than a year ago, and it clicked.
I just graduated a month ago, and I feel that instead of going to look for the job that I would have looked for, the jewelry has allowed me to I don't need to do that anymore.
They took a jewelry class and learned how to create their own designs. Then they invested about $3,000 to start up and began to make the jewelry.
Our first event, we were very gung-ho, and we did very well.
They made 3 times their investment within a few months. And like other small businesses, want to expand.
People that succeed understand that it's a 24/7 business, that they're always out marketing.
Fabian Gershon, director of the Thaipen Olchik Institute of Women's Entrepreneurship, encourages young businesswomen like Eleni and Maria to go beyond the street fairs.
The most important thing for that is networking. Getting new ideas and understanding that in today's technology, everything changes. It's a very dynamic world we live in.
And Eleni and Maria do try to work the internet. Now the challenge is getting new customers to buy. And for a small business like theirs, the city's Office of Small Business Solutions might help.
It's important to take a little bit of time each week, each month, to sort of assess and see where you want to go and where you want to take the business.
The city's Office of Small Business Solutions offers free help in all 5 boroughs.
We have a few courses here at the center where you can sort of reassess a little bit and see, is my marketing right? We have a course called Mastering Marketing.
That kind of course might help Eleni and Maria fulfill their dreams.
One of our biggest goals is to get our items throughout many department stores.
We would love to have a stable retail location where customers can comfortably go and shop from our jewelry line.
If you've got a good idea, take advantage of the free help. It might help you turn your idea into a business. Maria Trikuris, Brooklyn College News.
Finding great fashion deals may seem like a challenge, but I discovered a way to shop smart and look great too.
$14.50 acid wash. Acid wash is something that's coming back, very popular in the 80s.
Fashion stylist Trish Ramato searches thrift stores for great deals.
People they love to shop at high-end stores But unfortunately, the high end costs high end money. So with that being challenged, thrift shops are like the best way to go.
Trish shops for celebrities in places like Beacon's Closet and Buffalo Exchange in Williamsburg, and she's got a method.
I'm here, you look through your jeans, your shirts, put it all together, and then you hit the bags, your shoes, your hats, and just make something really fun of it.
There's a bonus. Thrift shops say they run green businesses, and you can help by recycling.
You're not contributing to more and more clothes that you're throwing out, or they're not going to a good place.
You can also buy, sell, or trade clothing at stores like these.
If there's anything we can take, we put a price on it, and they get 50% in-store trade, which they can use to shop in the store, or 30% in cash, and we pay them out day of.
The savings can be enormous if you shop smart.
You can save up to 75% sometimes, because if you look well, take your time, and you'll definitely find what you're looking for. It's probably an all-day task, but you'll find what you're looking for at a great price.
Small business hiring was up last quarter in New York City, and Renee Askew found a sweet small business that's growing fast.
Isn't she cute? And that ice pop she's eating is delicious. Even better, it's made right here in Brooklyn, and it's all Natalie Geordie's idea.
I had the same experience that every child probably has of just pouring, orange juice or something like that, or lemonade into ice cube trays in the freezer with a toothpick. What we do now is still pretty similar.
Natalie turned her childhood love into a business that makes people smile. She enlisted her high school buddy, David Carell, and his friend, Joel Horowitz, to start People's Pops.
We bought a bunch of fruit at the green market, and we made a bunch of popsicles. We took them to market, and we sold out in 2 hours.
Now, 40 employees turn out about 10,000 pops a week in the Brooklyn workshop. They sell at stands like this one in Chelsea Market throughout New York City.
When the consumer's buying it, we want them to have an absolutely delicious ice pop or shave ice. The product, the taste, the flavor, that's really the most important part.
They use natural ingredients and seasonal fruit and herbs. They love trying new combinations.
From looking at a dessert menu in a restaurant, or going to a fancy cocktail bar and seeing they're using shiso, this kind of exotic Japanese mint, with plums. Let's see if we can do that in an ice pop.
You can make your own ice pops at home with People's Pops recipe book. It has 55 different flavors, including boozy pops, which are made with alcohol. Renee Askew, Brooklyn College News.
Are you one of those people who talk or text when you cross the street? If you are, the city and the Knicks have a message for you. Norhan Khalid reports.
Hey, heads up!
That's the Knicks point guard, Baron Davis, warning us to pay attention when we cross the street. A lot of us walk without looking. We talk, we text, we ignore the traffic around us.
Sometimes I really try to pay attention because the taxi drivers are nuts.
The New York City Department of Transportation says half the pedestrian accidents in New York occur because people walk without looking. Department of Transportation Commissioner Jeanette Sadiq Khan wants to change that.
We're counting on New Yorkers to do the right thing.
So the city teamed with the Knicks to sell the message. Former Knicks player Larry Johnson said he knows it's a hard sell.
I think New Yorkers will be a little stubborn on it, like they're a little stubborn on almost anything.
But the city hopes the Knicks' reputation helps.
Have iconic leaders and sports celebrities to make that message, get that message across, makes a huge difference.
Oh yeah, because we look up to them. Because anyway, if they're doing it, a lot of times in the world, a lot of people's gonna follow.
Look out for heads-up ads all around the city. But most of all, keep yourself and others safe by paying attention. I'm Norhan Khalid, Brooklyn College News.
The FDA approved a new take-home HIV/AIDS test. It will be available over the counter in October. In the meantime, Orly DSA says health officials urge more New Yorkers to get tested.
Get tested for HIV. That's the message. Activists stage events in New York City to tell people about the importance of HIV testing.
My favorite phrase about HIV is, are you positive that you're negative? The answer is, if you've never been tested, you can't be.
Health officials estimate 40,000 in New York don't know they have HIV.
It's actually New York State law that your doctor is supposed to be offering you an HIV test.
And tests are especially important for some.
If you're someone who has risky sexual behavior, you have multiple partners, you use drugs, you get high, you don't know what happened to you the night before, those are people who need to be tested much more frequently.
The event offered free HIV tests on the spot, and some got good news.
I'm actually very excited. I got tested today, and I'm negative, and I feel good.
We are told that seniors rarely get tested, but health officials say they should. Aurélie Diese, Brooklyn College News.
Welcome back. Art is such a big part of the New York cultural scene, and it's always fun to find new places to see it. Melody Ortiz takes us to the Lower East Side.
Wings made from umbrellas, images of tumors printed on vellum, and a new art form called sculptural photography. Where can you find it? On the Lower East Side.
LES is a second neighborhood to me.
The Lower East Side is a breeding ground for up-and-coming artists and new art forms. These tiny galleries crammed into storefronts on the edge of Chinatown show amazing work. Cheap rent and hip neighbors make it a good alternative place to show and sell art.
I mean, even the MoMA, which is the Museum of Modern Art, does not have modern art. Actually, they have 20th century art, but they don't have art that's being made now by up-and-coming artists.
Galleries began to open here 10 years ago, and the scene continues to grow. There are 70 galleries in less than 1 square mile.
Some of the smaller galleries are more intimate and provide for a chance to both see the art in a more intimate space, but also socialize with people around.
The new museum is nearby. It draws crowds for contemporary shows and brings people to the galleries.
It's sort of nice to lure people down here with a big museum, a museum institution like the new museum, and then they wander into spaces like ours.
Although the new museum is the main attraction on the Lower East Side, its local galleries are the real treat. Melody Ortiz, Brooklyn College News.
Do you know there's a science of scentology? Well, maybe not, but there is an art to making beautiful perfume. Virgilia Hess found a woman who shares her secrets.
Here in New York, I learned how to make perfume, just like we do in my country, France.
You might know Paris as a center of perfume making, but I am in a charming Upper East Side home about to make my very own perfume.
I like to call myself a scentologist.
Sue Phillips runs enterprises and teaches the art of perfumery.
Do you know what the word perfume means?
The 2-hour workshop starts with a little perfume history.
In the ancient Egyptian rituals, when they would bury their dead, they would burn incense and wood.
Then it's hands and nose on. Students get a chance to touch and smell different raw materials.
I take people on a fragrance journey to help them create and understand the magic and mystery of scent.
But how do you know what scent works for you? Sue uses a questionnaire. What's your dream vacation? What's your favorite time of day? Which drink would you most likely order when out with friends?
If somebody likes very spicy food, typically somebody like that is going to like a stronger, more sensual fragrance.
Students smell and evaluate 18 exquisite aromas, including spicy, flowery, fruity, and woody. We pick 3 or 4 favorite scents that Sue combines to create our individual perfume. Et voilà!
An amazing journey, and the ingredients are absolutely beautiful, and it's very challenging to pick what you want because everything is so good.
My perfume is glamorous, flowery, and I love to wear it. The class costs from $50 to $985. If you want your own unique perfume, check scenterprises.com.
Thanks, Virgilia. With the sun beating down, you might consider new FDA rules. Sunscreens with SPF lower than 15 will have to say that they do not protect against skin cancer or premature skin aging. The FDA says the new rule will go into effect in December.
There was plenty of sun and great music at Punk Island. Mark Shapiro spent the day soaking up the sounds.
At Governor's Island, New Yorkers of all ages enjoyed a day of fun and rock and roll.
It's always great to come out and play a show like this where people appreciate us and we appreciate them.
50 bands spread out over 4 grassy stages to perform in front of fans. The bands play for the love of music. They say money is the last thing on their minds.
There's no money involved. We're not making any money. So playing a show like this is just really about just having a good time.
Those at the festival say punk music is a lifestyle, and events like this bring their community together.
It's about having fun, and regardless of who you are and what
background you're from or anything like that.
Now, about those rumors, punk rock is dead?
Punk rock is alive and well in the community, I would say. Because, I mean, when you see all the people getting together and singing along songs, it's a great feeling.
The punk rock community is open to all. New fans are welcome. Mark Shapiro, Brooklyn College News.
A Brooklyn College student makes a different type of music, but it's his personality that shines. He was voted the school's first university man for his all-around good spirit, and I spent some time with him.
I'm friends with a lot of people, and I think it's because I have a good attitude.
Was the hardest here.
Roger Hansen's good attitude shines as he raps in a freestyle contest called The Cypher. The Brooklyn College senior, TV radio major, goes by the name Normal.
He's not normal, he's awesome. He's awesome, he should be named Awesome Man.
Roger defies stereotypes.
I haven't met that many people of his ethnic persuasion that rap.
Not too many people are doing what he's doing as raw as he's doing it.
On campus, Roger hosts a radio show called Who's on Deck, and he recently won a scholarship from the TV radio department.
Television is a collaborative art. Also an industry in which there's a lot of huge egos. Roger has the ability to cooperate and kind of be a spark plug of activity. Without letting his ego get into the way.
It was very important to me, and my parents were very proud because I don't win things like that. I've never won a scholarship before. I was just totally humbled.
And that makes people really like Roger.
This is raw, this is real, this is how it started. And for him to be doing this is positive. He's like one in the few doing this, as far as I know.
You don't get your 20s back, so I like to live it up in every moment and try to make the best of whatever I'm doing.
That's our newscast for now. I'm Adesha Bryan.
I'm Christina Rivera.
And I'm Dan Thorne. Hope to see you next time.